Laura,
Yeah.
ask me what my favorite number is.
What's your favorite number?
100.
Why is that?
Because upcoming soon, the Totally Wholesome, Not Dirty podcast is going to be launching our 100th episode, which is basically like 2 years, but just sounds better than saying like 104.
Oh my gosh. Are you
So,
kidding me?
Yes, we are very excited to be launching the 100th episode. I can't believe that we've been doing it this long. And what we want is for our listeners to write in, call in 702-900-6446 or email the podcast at twndpodcast@gmail.com. We want to hear about your favorite guests, your favorite episodes, certain clips that you may like, because we are going to feature all of that and more on the 100th episode.
Yeah, there's so many good clips. There's so many good episodes, so many guests that we loved having.
For sure.
We gotta
over
do-
2 years of content at this point. Like, how are we even going to scrub through all that? There's been so many amazing guests and conversations.
Well, we have some homework to do.
We definitely have some homework to do. And so because we don't like doing homework, we're giving you guys some homework too.
You all
So
do.
guys, gals, anybody who listens, please write in. Let us know what you love about the podcast. Even just share voicemails about what you love about the podcast. Or if you have questions for us, stuff that you want us to say for the 100th episode, we would love to hear from you. So once again, 702-900-6446 for voicemails, and email twndpodcast@gmail.com for all your other submissions. We look forward to celebrating our 100th episode, and we are so very happy that you all come every week.
Yes, thank you so much.
Just keep coming. Keep coming.
They didn't give any warnings. It was all of a sudden one day
Gone.
and no like
That's
reasoning.
so
Like thanks.
not cool.
Cool.
Dicks.
I'm Molly Stewart,
And I'm Laura.
and this is the Totally Wholesome, Not Dirty podcast. We're best friends, and Laura shoots pretty much all of my adult content.
Yep. I've seen everything.
Everything. I'm still trying to see everything of her, but that's part of the journey that you can experience here on the Totally Wholesome, Not Dirty podcast. Laura, what do we talk about here?
Anything and everything.
What is my job, Laura?
To be beautiful and lovely and funny.
Oh my God, you're so sweet, but that's not true at all. So Laura is here to bring me a little bit out of the dirty headspace and into a more wholesome one. But I can't say that all of our conversations aren't dirty, so they might be a little bit of a false advertising. But whether you're returning or new to the show, welcome, and we're so very happy to have you here. So, Laura, why don't you tell them what they can do if they're watching on YouTube?
If you're on YouTube, we'd love if you leave a comment, share with a friend, subscribe.
Do all the things, and wherever you're listening, definitely subscribe and share with a friend if you like what we have to talk about. So, let's go get not dirty.
Let's get in it. Is strawberry new? I don't remember them having strawberry before.
Strawberry is, well, I thought it was new.
Or is
I think it came in the summer box that they sent us.
Ooh. Summertime.
Alex, did you know that one stick of liquid IV dissolved in 16 ounces of water hydrates faster and more effectively than water alone?
I did not.
Yeah, there's CTT technology.
Wow.
Yeah, cellular transport, right, Laura?
Yes, and all the essential vitamins like B3, B5, B6, B12, vitamin C. Very, very, very helpful.
Potassium.
I love potassium.
Do you go to liquidiv.com and experience better hydration today by using code TWND to save 15% and get free shipping on everything that you purchase? I don't usually start podcasts this way, but joining us today is the beautiful Alix Lynn and Ein. Because someone's a little bit obsessed.
Give it up.
Yeah. Alix Lynx.
Oh,
It's okay.
I'm very stoned. I'm
Same.
sorry. Alix
There
Lynn.
is
I was
an
like,
X,
wait.
yes?
Yeah.
Same but different. It's
Well,
okay. Well,
All right, we're going to
different.
restart the
Okay.
show right now. Welcome back to the show. Joining us is Alix Lynx, and we are all very, very stoned.
But we're not advocating it.
But we're not advocating it. That's just poor choices that we've made in our life.
And Ein is just getting all the love.
All the love.
And he is so...
we're
yeah.
best friends. Yes, we are.
If he ever becomes too much, you can always make him go on the ground.
Never do.
This is
Okay.
true bonding, right?
Yeah. We actually shot content together before, but we kind of kept the dogs outside all of that time because you
Right.
just don't really want the furry things around when you're
No.
naked and doing, things.
And
Right.
looking at you derpy.
Right. Yeah.
What's going on?
Oh, it's actually such a problem in the living room. That big window out there. I like to shoot in the living room a lot, but if they're outside, we keep catching them like in the cameras.
They're just like in the background,
Yeah.
like stone faced.
I shot this whole intro scene for my friend. And we had to reshoot it because I didn't realize until halfway through that Edward is just right in the corner frame, just staring, just dead inside. He doesn't move. It's terrifying.
And
There's no blinking.
always Edward.
It's always Edward.
It's always Edward. Because, like, Ian will go to the side of the house, like, chill in his own little area.
Mm-hmm.
Julia's probably in the pool. And
Julia's always in the pool.
Edward's just looking in dead. Like,
Yeah. I think Edward just kind of shuts off when I'm not around, or when like he's not around people. I kind of feel like he just turns off and doesn't know what to do. Meanwhile, conversely, I'm like that with people.
I was literally just gonna say last week I was at a family friend's like outdoor like barbecue thing, and it was all like family. And also when you're around in this profession, it's like when you go to family events in the normal world, it's like you kind of have to button up a little bit, so that's a little bit exhausting.
Turtlenecks only.
Yeah, and my God, and just literally and figuratively, and then after like a handful of hours, all of a sudden I'm just like dissociating and like just I have to just sit because I can't go anywhere because it's a outing, you know. So I'm just like, and then my friend like a few hours later, he's like, "Oh, there you are." I was like, as in like, I like.
You came back.
Yeah, I was like,
snap back to reality. Ooh.
I can't, like, this is a lot. And I was like, what the is wrong with me? Like, what's wrong with me?
I understand that completely. Because it's one of those things. It's like we took all those tests, Laura, you know, but I don't know how much of it is that and how much of it is that I was homeschooled. That I just like do not know in social situations, especially when it's not industry people. Because it's like with industry people, it's like we all are either going to get naked in front of each other, or know that we've all been naked in front of other people, and there's not like this. It feels like there's almost no shame in anything. Then
1000%,
because you're already stripped down. Literally
vulnerable and like, and also if you spent any time in this industry, you know that you and like everyone around you has like seen everything. Like there's nothing is like off topic. Like people are very open, and like so people don't give a people don't judge, and there's just like a certain level of like camaraderie and understanding. So I totally feel that, and that's why I don't get burnt out at all. Like it's just when I'm like in normal life, I get burnt out so easily.
Well, it was like my mom couldn't even talk to me about my period. You know what I mean?
Same.
So I can talk about that with Laura. She's not even in the industry.
Ew, I'm kidding. No judgment zone, right?
No,
no judgment zone.
Totally.
So to find people that are like, we all kind of do the same job, whether it's like exactly the same type of content or not. There's so many different levels to it, but there's kind of that basic understanding and respect that at the end of the day, we kind of all end up doing a similar thing that we can all relate to.
Yeah, and especially too, since it's so taboo. It's like you have like a tribe of people that get it.
And because it's like even now it's becoming more and more popular, and you hear about it, or like OnlyFans references or things like that in new like TV shows and things like that. But no matter what they think, or even people who might be new to the industry think, it's like it's not what they think. And until you're actually a part of it, you can't really fully understand that. And there's some people who can like appreciate and like think and assume they kind of know, and they can, you know, try to understand, and that's super cool. But until you're actually part of it, like you just can't. And even you can understand more because you've gotten into like shooting content now.
Well, that, and then like just being on set. So like that was a big change for me, because like I met Molly and like I did her makeup for shoots, but it wasn't for any like scenes, right? It was more like photo shoots. Except for your vampire scene. That was a scene that I actually was on set for. But
that was like, hey, I'm not naked at all, and then like
that
was like a pretty quick transition.
And then like being on set and then seeing it like multiple times a week, then you're just like, okay, so this is how it is. And it's always like, I've heard this from others, but I don't know if you guys understand, or like have heard this too, like people that end up working like behind the scenes typically aren't the ones that are like thinking they were going to be working behind the scenes. It's like it kind of happened.
Isn't that funny too?
Yeah,
like
and
just fell into like
and then people are like, oh, you work in porn.
But do you know what's funny about that?
Like,
I don't know exactly how you got onto it, which I would like to talk about if you would like to.
Yeah,
but
totally.
I feel like everyone, even the people who are performing in it, fell into it.
Yeah,
it's not like
correct.
I just showed up on set and I was like, you know what? This has always been my dream. I'm so glad to be living out my fantasy.
Actually, that's how it was for me.
Really?
Yeah, so
Hell
this is
yeah.
funny.
Yes.
Because
Okay,
I want to
perfect.
know how you got into.
Oh,
That's great.
mine is sad and long.
Okay,
It's
well,
long.
we'll
Let's
talk
go with
about it
yours.
later.
Yours is
Okay.
more fun.
You can make
Yeah.
it short and sad.
We don't need to be sad.
I'm
just kidding.
We just joke. But so you actually had that desire to
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, I like grew up in the middle of nowhere, like upstate New York. There was and it's weird because I'm like not a product of my environment at all,
Yeah.
and just had like normal-ish childhood, pretty dysfunctional as an adult. Looking, as an adult, you can look back and be like, "What the fuck?" Like,
Yeah,
God damn, I'm resilient.
Were you like, did you ever realize like, oh, like that was abusive, or where it wasn't really, I don't know, but back in the day, you weren't taught like, oh yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, well, there's no
Right.
terminology. I mean, there were some things that I knew like were not normal, like just the way my parents interacted, just like an example, just like everyone's got their shit, right?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, anyway, so my whole life I was just like, I do want to live here. I want to get the fuck out of here. It was just like ingrained in me since I was like a kid. And I just was never close to my family. I have a brother. I'm still close with him, and I was always close with him. But like, I just always had this like independence. And I also always like, I grew up watching like Girls Next Door and like Laguna Beach. And I was like, oh no, I want to go to like California.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was so beautiful. And like, I was like, oh, like I see Girls Next Door. I'm like, oh, I want to like, people can live like that. They can like be hot and like have fun.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, well, why can't I do that? So I just planted it in my head, and I don't know, I kind of buried it because like you can't tell people that.
Yeah.
Or like acting, I was always interested in, and like where I come from, people just don't like do that.
Yeah.
People
No,
don't do that, So it'd be weird if I were to say, people would be like, what?
No, it's funny because I actually relate to your story a lot on the like the basis of it, because I was very much the same of like wanting to get out of where I was, but like I wanted to go to California because I had heard the things.
Yes.
But I wasn't ever someone who'd be like, I'm just going to be a hot person. I was like, I'm trash. How am I going to like make my way out there? And I will do anything I can to just get out of here.
Yeah.
But that was not an option that occurred to me. But also homeschooled, it's not, and I wasn't even allowed to watch most TV. I had no fucking idea of the world. I just knew I wanted to go to there.
Yeah.
And I'm a product of California, born and raised, and here I am.
Love
Because it's
that.
like, I had to get away from it.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, I grew up in Laguna Beach. No, I'm kidding. But literally by the beach, and it's like, I did that my whole life. Beautiful, beautiful way to grow up, for sure. But it's like, I was telling someone yesterday, it's like in Orange County, it's always keeping up with the Joneses. What kind of car do you drive? Where did you go to school?
Ugh,
And it's
I can't want that. That's how I felt about living in LA too. And it was it's hard to be around day to day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's exhausting. It's like the constant rat race that never ends.
Yeah, and I'm not even really, I'm pretty like unplugged from that, but even being unplugged from that, like being near it, it's
like the energy around,
Yeah.
because it's like when you spend enough time around someone that you get like a bad vibe from, or there's this just weird feeling, right? It gets worse and worse. The more proximity that you have to that person or that situation, if you withdraw yourself from that, weirdly, things start turning around.
Isn't that funny?
And it's kind of like, even if it's not something that you're involved with or trying to be involved with, people involve you with it.
Yeah.
And it feels like a lot of times, in areas like that it's very much like nobody's happy for anybody. It's just talking about what other people have and how they don't deserve it, and why you deserve it over them. Like, speaking in the first one, I deserve it over them. Like, they didn't even work for, or like, and it's like, no matter
validation.
The energy wasted.
But then around those same people, I watch them interact. And it's just not the same because it's just fake. It's all fucking fake.
Yeah. How exhausting.
It's so tired.
At the end of the day, like, people must be so fucking tired. Like, I can't. I don't have the energy for that.
No.
I do not have the capacity. But anyways, whatever. I ended up going to college. I got my bachelor's degree. I got a normal 9 to 5. I ended up moving to Westchester County with this dude I was dating at the time. And I was like, fuck it, let's go. And basically that's like where I like started evolving. And I was like, because we go to New York City and go out clubbing and stuff like that. And I'd be like, holy shit. I was like so much in culture shock. And I was like, I'm never going back to that town again. Like, fuck that. Like, what the fuck? Like, I've been missing out on all of this. And then like I was doing like grad school online, and I had like a normal 9 to 5. I got laid off from that. And that was kind of a point where it clicked for me. Like, I cannot depend on anybody to employ me ever again. Like, when that happened, I was like, this is forever going to be an issue for me, because this is not something I can control. Like, I can work my ass off for 30 years, just for example, for someone, and one day they could wake up and be like, no, we're good, like, bye-bye, and then I'm fucked. So it was like, I'm never working for anyone again. And then I started doing like freelancing stuff for social media. I got really crafty. I was like a promo model and making money. And then I was at a party one night with just a bunch of friends, and I was talking to one of my guy friends, and he happened to mention that he was like really into webcam sites like My Free Cams, and he dropped My Free Cams, and I was like, he was just telling me this, and he's like, yeah, the girls just like sit around like in their underwear, they're at home all day, they play games, and they make so much money. And I was like, no shit. Like, what? Okay.
As someone who always loves new technology, one question that I have is, why can't tech be cute? But then I discovered kawaii lighting, and I realized that it actually can be, and it is, at kawaiilighting.com. These aren't basic ring lights. They stand out. So whether you're looking for RGB to make a statement or want to do something extra cute, like with their cat, heart, or star-shaped lights, kawaiilighting.com has you covered. Get one for yourself. Get one for the cute streamer in your life. Whoever you get one for, use code TWND at checkout or click the affiliate link in the description to let them know I sent you.
Noted.
Tell me more.
Yeah. So like I was just like, oh cool, like whatever, get your freak on, man. But like when I got home that night, like he was just telling me this, but I literally Googled it, and I went on and I was like kind of watching the girls on there, and I was like, oh my God, I could totally do this. And I was always the type, I was always like a good girl, but that's because I had to be. I would get in trouble, like if not, like growing up. But I was always really rebellious and questioning everything and like
pushing the limits
and like always pushing the envelope, like always seeing how far I could get, like corrupting my friends, like like just all the things. And like I was always like a little gremlin, you know. And
I call myself a gremlin all the time.
Like I was always just a fucking gremlin, and I never give a fuck. Like, and I was never even, and like honestly, I don't give a fuck. Like there's nothing wrong with this, but I was never the type of person to just like go out and bang a bunch of people. I was always like a relationship girl. But there was something about like doing like sex work, like porn or like whatever, like phone sex. I would see advertisements, I'd be like, oh, I'd be really good at that. But and this is in high school. Like what? How weird is that? Like who thinks like that? And but anyways, like when the webcam shit came back, I was like, it triggered something in me that was like dormant. I was like, oh God, I want to do this. Like and I had to like think about it for a while. I thought about it for a little bit of time, because I knew that like if I did it, there would be no going back, because you know, I just don't think there's any, unless you are not showing your face at all, and I wasn't going to do that.
I agree.
I started that way a few times, but I wasn't going to continue like that. But I knew like once you show your face, there's no going back, because even if you're on once, someone could record it, someone could post it on a porn site, and there you're out there.
Oh, you want to go change your entire face and your name?
Yeah. So I just knew.
Hope you make enough money for that.
Yeah. So I just like really thought about it, and I knew too, like everything was very like purposeful and strategic, and I also knew like, okay, well, if I'm gonna be ballsy enough, I'm 25, like. If I want to quit like this lifestyle and do something off the wall, no one's going to understand it. Like this is going to be an issue for like everyone in my life, like all the things. And then I was just like, even the webcamming, and that was like where I started. And I was like, whatever, I want to do this for me, and like I have to live my life for me and make my own money and support myself. And you know, my parents didn't give me shit. Like they, you know, like growing up was different. But as a 20-year-old, like here I'm responsible.
Like, hey, can I just have money? It's
no,
like I would never.
Excuse me?
No,
I would never. I remember once saying before I started camming, I was about to be homeless. I was like, I would rather be homeless. I've been homeless before. It's okay. You can live in your car or a box. I'm never going back.
Yeah,
I would
couch
never ask
surfing
my parents
is
for
real.
money.
Couch surfing is real.
Yeah,
right.
Totally.
Well, at the time, I had no friends. Whose couch would I have surfed? Let's be honest.
Thank God we met, because you can always have my couch. You know what I'm saying? It's not that big, but hey.
I love the ingenuity though to make that decision and really have the forethought to think what are the long-term ramifications for this, because I didn't have the choice with that, and now it's like, well, it's something that I love now, but something that's changed and evolved with me over time. That's why we always say when Ein, is your face itchy?
Oh
no! Be careful! They were really scratching your face. He was like,
he's so happy. He's like, Mom, don't worry, I'm fine.
oh, I make all the money just for you, bub.
Yeah.
You have a lifestyle to maintain without your bark box.
He's bougie.
But we always say here, because people have asked or called in or written in asking, like, what is advice that you would give to someone who's getting into the industry? Or I'm thinking about it, but I haven't decided or done anything yet. That's why I always say, is think about it if you're going to be okay with it forever. And if you do not give a fuck if people know, great, because they're going to know regardless. You can be my parents don't know how to use the internet. Everyone else does.
Their fucking friends
Everyone else does. And they will screenshot it. They will send it to them. They will know. There's zero way to avoid it. Everything is online now. And whatever you put out there, it's just out there, bro. Like,
Forever.
Especially porn, too, because, like...
DMCA's only go so far, let's be honest. I've wiped the same video 50 million times.
Yeah, right, same. And it's just like, it's just crazy because I think people don't think about how many people watch porn.
Yeah.
Motherfucking every adult
watches it. It's like why the internet
is
created.
I know, and it is wild to me. People are like, oh, I thought I could do it, just a few scenes and no one would know. I'm like, girl, like, what are you doing? Like, your fucking dad's friends are all watching it. Like, what do you do? Like, what the fuck?
And also, like, the scene rate that you make for doing a couple scenes, that's not worth it if you're not going to do anything further with it, because it's like a pittance fee.
It's like $3,000 or some shit.
It's like, here's $3,000 and then everyone can see your butthole forever.
And you have no royalties either. Like, that's a terrible business plan.
The days of royalties in porn are long behind us, my friends.
The butthole is making money.
Yes.
You are not getting any of it.
Exactly. If you're not shooting your own content and you're also shooting mainstream, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
You are shooting yourself in the proverbial foot, my friend, because that is just a really, really bad idea.
It's not a good way to approach it. If you're gonna do this, you really have to have your own back, and you really have to have some sort of like a plan. And it's like, you can blow yourself up pretty quickly with just companies, but you better be doing content on the side.
Yeah,
because then you have nothing to sell to your fans.
Mm-hmm. And if you get paid to do one of those kinds of like promo scenes, like your first whatever, like everybody has had their first whatever. I'm sorry, I'm going to say this right now. You're not special, because everyone's had their first something.
Yeah.
So what I've seen, not, always me personally necessarily, but I have worked with a few people here and there, and then I know other people have told me stories of people who I've worked with, and they come in with the biggest fucking head and the worst attitude.
So fucking stupid.
And
too, like,
everybody talks.
Literally,
if you come in
talks.
thinking that your shit doesn't stink, and then our nose is in your butthole and it clearly does, like, everybody's gonna know. And it's not even like, oh, you stink. It's like, you're a terrible person, because it's like, nobody wants to deal with that like prima donna bullshit. Like, this is not.
And it's for what you've shot. Like, we've all shot for the same fucking companies.
Exactly.
So like, what are you doing?
Quick word from sponsor. Did you know that we're sponsored by Manscaped, the best at below the belt grooming?
What?
That's
No
right.
way.
When you use code TWND and go to manscaped.com, you can save 20% and get free shipping on everything that you purchase. And what I would highly recommend while we go into the spring cleaning of things, most importantly, those things, you know the things attached to the penises that you guys have been sending me pictures of. The Performance Package 4.0 from our friends at Manscaped. Because honestly,
That's beautiful.
when you pull down a guy's pants and it's musty, dusty, and crusty, it does not put you in a sucking mood. You know what I mean? And I definitely don't want to put that inside of my hoo-ha. That thing is sensitive. So make sure that you have a fantastic presentation. You can do that by going to manscaped.com and using code TWND to save 20% and get free shipping on anything. But highly recommend the 4.0 package. So what you will have in here is the Weed Whacker nose, ear, hair trimmer. That's kind of funny to say. The nose and ear hair trimmer. You know the one. It's really good. I demonstrated this on a previous episode. You just shove it right up in there and you just give a little buzz, and it's really nice and it clears that all out.
So glad you didn't do it now.
I didn't want to do it now.
Smart move.
Yeah. So if you have nose rings, maybe you want to take those out. I don't know. You also find the Performance Boxer briefs, which are very nice and soft. This is actually a box we'll be giving away. So if you want to call 702-900-6446 and tell us all about your little ball situation going on below, you might win one of these if you can entertain us enough and if we think that you truly deserve it. So moving on, we also have the Lawnmower 4.0, which is amazing. Super easy. Has an LED spotlight. It has advanced skin-safe technology to make sure that you don't nick all your little nuts down there, because nobody wants nick nuts. You know what I'm saying?
Nick your knickers.
You also have right here the Crop Reviver Ball Toner, which is very nice, and we tested that, and it smells amazingly fresh. I like to use this on my man. We also have the Crop Preserver that I can't get out. It's a ball deodorant. It's a cream. We also discovered that. I thought this was a powder. I was sorely mistaken. I don't have balls, so I've not used this on myself, and my man didn't tell me that it was cream. So it is cream. It's very nice. It smells good, and it's light and fresh. Very masculine.
It must dry to a powdery finish, though.
Yeah, it does.
It does it
did on the kiwis when we tested it on the kiwis.
That's dope.
Inside this, you will also find the Shed travel bag, which is very nice. It's leather and it's very, very beautiful. I like it. You also have some accessories down here, and everything you need to know about your performance package will be right here underneath all of your fun little goodies.
That's an awesome gift.
This is an amazing gift for yourself or for the man in your life. And apparently also the Lawnmower 4.0 is safe enough to use on lady bits as well. So if you're ever in a pinch, nice to have that to offer as a backup. So go to manscaped.com, use code TWND to save 20% and get free shipping on everything that you purchase. Help support the show. Thank you, Manscaped, for sponsoring.
Yes,
and thank you all for trying and supporting Manscaped as well, because we really love Manscaped.
We sure do.
Once again, code TWND to save 20% and free shipping at manscaped.com.
What are you doing?
Just
Knock it
be
off.
nice. Like,
right.
The nicer that you are and the more willing you are to just enjoy the day and have fun and interact with people in a positive way,
Yeah.
you will make so many more friends, so many better connections to be able to create your own content. People who will actually help you instead of people who will try to stop you from working. Do you know what I mean?
People want to be around good energy, and people want to be around positivity, and you're very easy to work with, and just make it my whole thing is I'm here. I chose to do this because I want to have fun, and it's still work, but how can we make work really fucking fun? It's already fun, but let's make it extra fun.
We can dance like this to Cardi B.
We can dance if you wanna. You can leave your friends behind.
That's right.
You can dance.
If they don't dance in there, no friends of mine.
Yes, and you have that energy, girl. We had so much fun always with you. So, and it's just fun to hang.
Anyways, back to my story. This is the most stoner centric story.
It happens.
So
it'd be like that.
So anyways, I start webcamming. I didn't show my face for a bit. I start making really good money. In a day, made what I would make in a week at my job. I was doing consulting for a social media firm. So I resigned from them. I was okay, here we go. money's there. Proof is in the pudding. Like, let's just fucking go this and like fuck it, basically. Yeah. Like,
I've already started. Here might as well go all out.
Yeah. So I start showing my face. I start being consistent, and I learned so much. We were talking about this yesterday on set. How much you learn when you start webcamming, because you're just essentially like you're starting from bare ass scratch, nothing. Especially with my free cams, you have to like HTML your fucking like. Profile.
I learned how to do that from like back in the forum days. So I was like, I got this. Let's get in.
Forums, like what's it, Amber?
Amber Cutie forums.
Yes, Amber
Shout
Cutie.
Out.
Yeah, Amber Cutie, we love you. Thank you for those amazing resources.
I didn't discover that for a while, and once I did, I was like, oh my, that's really nice.
I think she might be still camming. I don't know. I hope so. But anyways, yeah, it was just a really good resource. I was on there, and like stripper web. And just also like talking to other like some of the members would like give me tips and tricks. Like I don't know, it's like fucking Captain Save
It's
a
funny
Ho.
because well, sometimes like I felt like when I first started, I would be like, oh, you're giving me advice, and then it's like the more you go, you realize that some of them are giving good advice, and some of them are just giving you advice that like fits their, like, did you know that it's you actually end up making more money if you're just like naked in free chat? And so like, and then if I tip you after you're naked, then it would be like, I was like, oh, cool, so I'll just
I know. Fuck. Or like they would start like getting mad if I didn't like follow their instructions, and I'd be like, all right, buddy, I'm gonna block you because you're fucking pissing me off. Like, thanks, but bye. Like, we're done here.
I loved like running my chat room on MFC back in the day because it was just like my space to do whatever I wanted to with it. I had the control over it, you know, and it, as far as like how I run it, I felt like I got to be the most of my personality online in the chat room versus my real life at the time.
Same.
It was such a fun place for me to grow and to like become more comfortable with myself, or to like not see my body. Like I kind of like not disassociated from my body, but kind of like have that separation where it's like, even though I'm not always comfortable with how I look, or, you know, in the past I've not been comfortable with it, I kind of like could just distance myself from that
exactly
and be like,
it's
just a character that's here, and they like it for whatever reason. So here it is.
Yeah, I still gotta do that sometimes. You know, like I don't know exactly that feeling. Yeah. That's good. I've never heard it described that way, but that was very well articulated.
Yeah, she paints the picture, right?
Yeah, but it's so true. Because sometimes, like people, you know, it's like. I can sit here and say, like, I love my job with a live long day, but, like, you know, there are the rare days where it's like I wake up and I'm like, I don't know, like, I'm bloated. Like, it's that time of the month. I'm like, I don't want to fucking do this, but I have to. And then I'm just like, well, this is the fucking, you know, song and dance here, so let's just go and, like, do it just like a job, you know?
And then sometimes what I've found, too, is when I'm not in the mood to do it, if I make myself do it, I can almost put myself in a better mood because I start to get into that, like, performer space where I'm like, I'm putting on a show.
Yes.
And there's at least 2 people that are going to like this, so let's go 2 people. And I, like, hype myself up.
100, because it also, like, this, like, actually, like, it makes me happy. It is, like, my passion. Like, I love doing this, so it's not, like, I have to go to work. Like, it isn't. It is like 99.99% never that energy at all. Like, it's just not.
And it would totally affect like everything if it showed. Like, if you really didn't enjoy it.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? You truly do.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
And I get that. Like, it shows all around.
Yeah, like we vibe on set. Like, and just like
we're like, eat this licorice, yo,
fucking crazy. But it's so fun. Like, what the fuck else would I be doing sitting at home, like on my computer?
I'd so much rather be interacting with people that are just like having good vibes, good times, making money moves. Like,
for sure.
Let's go.
And I've had so many times where I've been like not in the mood, like not because of like the people, not because let's just you have your own shit going on. Yeah. And I will get to set, or like someone will come over, and it's like as soon as they're here and we're interacting, or I'm there and we're interacting, I'm like, I feel better. Yeah. Like, and it's gone. Do you know what I mean? It's almost
that's
like
you, for me.
Aww. That's you for me.
And you. Like, I mean, it's just like you have that energy.
Yeah.
But when you have people that reciprocate that energy, and it's easy to kind of like bring yourself out of the space to both perform together in whatever scenario, you know? Because sometimes, you know, when we do our solo episodes where it's just you and me, it's like sometimes we'll be bitching before we start. We're like, I don't want to do this.
Or we're tired.
I have no energy.
Yeah. This is all we have left.
That was.
But once you do it, like you do it. I feel that when I do my YouTube videos too, because I sit there and talk, and it's like immediately the camera's rolling. I'm like,
yeah,
just going,
and it just comes out, and it's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. But so yeah, I started doing that, and then I noticed like the girls, like a lot of the top girls, were doing like they were doing like shoots with like twisties, and like I had always wanted to do like a Playboy or like twisties, like that, like Hustler. Ask me why, I could not tell you, but I was like, hey, that looks cool, like let's do that. Yeah. And I'm still working on that, but I saw like some girls were doing that, and I looked further into it, and I saw they were doing like girl scenes, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And they were doing them with like other models, and I was like, oh, that seems smart, because then you can like cross promote fans and do the shows and like shoot with them. And then also I noticed that, but also I noticed that like that really tickled my fancy was like, oh, I can go like do a scene for like this big company, and like I'll get more fans that way. And I was like, oh, light bulb, like let me do girl porn. Like, why not? I'll just go do a few scenes here and there, and then just cam would be like the main source of income, and that would just bring me fans. So,
and then you can also do girl cam shows.
Yes, exactly. So I went to Exotica, New Jersey, like probably a few months after that, as just a MFC model. This was in 2013, maybe. Might have been October 2013. Yeah, that's crazy. That was a decade ago. Fuck. So that is insane.
That's around when I started.
Holy fuck. So yeah, so I went there, and I ended up literally like walking into Huggy, the production manager at Kink, and Jesse Jones, male talent. And I was just shooting the shit with him. I was like, yeah, like I'm a cam model, and I'm thinking about like getting into porn. I Googled like agencies, and one of them that came up was one that I was really interested in. And I told them the agency, and Jesse's like, don't join that agency. They had so many like huge name girls on their roster. And he's like, it looks good. He's like, don't join that agency. That guy is a pimp. He's literally a fucking pimp. Like, if you want to join an agency, go sign with OC Modeling. Like, I'll give you my contact at OC Modeling. So that's how and it was A, that recommendation, and B, it was like, Sandra, she's a female. And for me, that was like something that I was like, oh, cool, like that resonates with me. So I basically sent it, and I contacted them. I sent my photos in, like some weird ass photos I just took in my bedroom. And they're like, okay, we like what we see. I said, I just want to do girl, can you help me? They're like, yeah, like if you can come out to LA, like come stay at our condo. Agencies have condos usually for the fly-in girls to stay. That's cool. And like I went out a couple months later, maybe a month later, even by myself. I went to LA once, drove myself out there. I was just like, everything was so new and so fresh.
Badass.
And I met them, and I started shooting just girl. I'd fly out like every month or so, like over the summer. And then finally I decided, like, I was like, well, I'm location independent. Like, I don't want to fucking live in New York anymore. Like, let me make this move to California that I've always wanted to do. And then like I did. And then slowly as it often does for people, it's like you start doing girl, you get really comfortable. You realize like, hey, this is like easy, it's fun. And then boy, girl, and then the floodgates open from there. And now we're here. So that's my life story. Yeah.
That's awesome.
For you.
That's very awesome. What an amazing rise to like where you wanted to be. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah,
very cool.
I'm not mad about it. Like, it's panned out pretty well.
Yeah.
Even through all the bullshit. It's hard when you move somewhere brand new and you don't know many people.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to, like, basically start your entire life from scratch. Like, that's fucking hard.
Yep. That
it's awesome though.
Yeah,
like,
it
is. Feels so good.
Yeah,
because like
it's authentic.
It's authentic. I love living here versus like from being from California.
Yeah,
because like I did it alone. I don't have family. I came here
totally
alone, and it's like epic.
Yeah,
that's how I feel about Vegas too.
It's so epic.
Because I had like all the moving that I did over the years for camming. We were moving every 6 months to a year.
Yeah,
at most, and never really attached roots to anywhere, to anyone. There were some people allowed into that equation, and Vegas wasn't
that was like the first place that I found people that were like, we're sticking on to you for now. You know what I mean?
A barnacle.
Yeah. And it was really, really fun to find a place to have some barnacles.
Love a barnacle.
You're in boat mode from all the boating you've been doing.
Straight up.
Love boating. Well, you just got a houseboat.
We got a houseboat, so it's like a
excited for
lake.
you.
If y'all ever want to go, I mean, it could be fun, you know?
Totally.
Yeah, especially
I love the water.
A boat day, some paddle boarding, some kayaking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would be really
fun.
fun.
Of course,
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sunning and fun and
Some
babes.
content, some titties on
Some
a
boat
and- yeah.
boats and
On a boat.
hoes.
Boats and hoes.
Why not?
We're going to boats and hoes. It's going to be really fun.
And the boat's called Dazed and Amused, so you know we're freaking.
I love that. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It was fun. We were out there the other day just checking it out because that's where we're shooting the 100th episode.
Yes.
So you guys have been getting it ready, and it looks really fun for y'all who are wondering. But you want to talk about that pizza situation quick before we never bring it up again?
Absolutely. So
Tell me.
we were like getting hungry, right? We got there.
snack.
We wanted a snack. I was like, hey, you want to go like eat some food? There's a little restaurant on the marina, and they're fabulous. But I had never seen this place so busy. First of all, and shorthanded, like with servers. So like we sat down
20
close
minutes.
to the bar because I'm like, they'll see us here. We're close.
They saw us. They kept looking at us.
But the thing is, it's like, I was like, fuck, we should like just kind of wait and see if they like come over to us. 20 minutes later,
We went to the counter.
Molly's like, do we need to sit at the bar? I was like, we might. I was like, so we made our way to the bar, still waited.
Still waited. No one addressed. I was getting so mad. You're so much nicer than me because I was ready to
Well,
rage.
I mean, I'm there all the time.
I'm that
I need
person
to make
also.
friends.
I'm like I'm one of those. This is terrible, but it's kind of like when I make direct eye contact with you. Do you remember the lady? I ran up to one lady. She was making her way past. She had made eye contact with me, and I'm like, I'm gonna intercept her. And I was like, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, and she just kept running. She got faster, and I wanted to chase her, but I didn't.
And I mean, we did see several people come and go too, but they didn't get service either. So like, people weren't getting service. It was too busy.
Okay.
Listen, it took an hour and a half to get any food. And let me tell you, I wasn't hungry really when we got there. I just wanted a snack.
I would have ordered like
By the time
Uber
we had the
Eats
food.
to the restaurant
Yeah.
to like
It's so
tide me
far out, like,
over.
I
I'm
feel like it
pissy
was-
when I'm hungry too. I can't.
We
And
should have
it's
just done that.
We
That's
could
such a
have
good idea.
next time.
I kind of felt like we're in the middle of nowhere though, because when you're out in
Yeah.
boat
Kind of
area,
are.
Yeah,
What
there's
is-
like one restaurant,
We're
and
at
that's the one.
We're at Slip 100. Find us in the water.
Get like a big flag or something.
We're here.
Some balloons.
Ahoy. But yeah, so we finally got the food. It's all good. Yeah, the
Was it
service
good?
food was great. I mean, we drenched our pizza in ranch. We were good.
Yeah.
Which is like we have a friend who hates ranch on pizza.
Oh, I
He's like,
fucking hate it too.
See,
but
so it's like it's an East Coast thing. And he's
it
from the
is.
East Coast,
All my
and they're
friends
like,
love
"Ew."
it though.
And then we just like made a video of us just pouring a bunch of ranch on pizza and sent it to
I
him.
poured way more ranch on it than I even wanted to. I just wanted like a
We
little
made our
dip,
pizza
you know.
scissor in the ranch.
Should like dump it all over your body now.
Just
And we made it a good time.
yeah.
Even though, you know.
I do kind of want to make a sexy ranch video.
Dude, you
now,
could probably
though.
charge like you charge a lot of money to open that because I feel like 3 people would at least open it, maybe
Yeah.
5.
When you said a
Honestly,
ranch video.
Listen, based on my fan base, I think everybody would open that video. It's just me naked pouring ranch.
Do
If
it.
you would open that video, please call in.
Yes.
I had this like top selling video back in the day of MFC when I would just have like outrageous prizes for like if you're the high tipper you get to pick what the cum show is, you know what I mean? And there was this one that you just made ridiculous. I had this bouncy ball that you sit on and bounce, but there's a dildo attached to it. So that was in a shower because I had a weird like wheelchair shower. Long story. So the bounce ball could fit in it. I was bouncing on the dildo, pouring maple syrup all over my body and yodeling.
I love that.
The amount of times I pulled that video down from the internet, but I do still sell it. I just mean people have been sharing it for free, and please stop because it's valuable.
You know, it's really funny.
Syrup.
Yeah.
I don't have a maple syrup, but I have a similar, not that similar, but I'm in a shower, also MFC. and I'm pouring motherfucking chocolate syrup all over my body. Something about the syrups, you know, just like but yodeling is like not
so great.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Thanks.
It's pretty freaking fantastic.
It was back in the day. The things that I would get up to. It's like you spend enough hours on cam, like I did. You have to like, I mean, you understand. You have to come up with weird stuff to like entertain yourself almost as much as like. And it's like, listen, you've seen me put like dildos inside of myself. You see me come. You see me naked. Like, what's a yodel between friends with some maple syrup? You know what I mean? Like, you're like, yahoo! You know, it's just like, let's just go.
Yeah.
Is that the name of this episode?
What's a yodel between friends?
I mean, it's like, it doesn't get any better than that.
I mean, truly.
There you go, David. Clip that.
I know, man. Like, for real, though. You said that really well, too. It is so true. You really got to entertain yourself. It is crazy. Like, it's crazy. You just sit there with a screen and you forget the outside world is going on. Yeah. And then sometimes it's so fucking annoying, too, because, like, you know, even like I do the lives on my OnlyFans usually once a week, and most of the time they're talkative, but every so often, like, it is fucking crickets, and I'm like, now I'm putting lotion on my body. Because, like, I can't just sit there.
Oh, dude,
no.
I'm like, what do you want from me?
Like, now I'm going to wear this mask.
I will sometimes.
That's a good one.
I've done it before where I'll be naked, right? And it's just like, I will not stop talking. And I will create like entire stories or situations, and I'll like pull myself up into the most unattractive positions, and I'll just like, this is you right now. Oh, don't you love how I look right now? Oh, I just love stroking my dick. And I will just, until someone says something, because I'm like, I like a fucking audience. Don't make me feel like I'm sitting here by myself. Like, have I not entertained you enough? Say that I look good at least, or something.
Give me your money.
It's hard sometimes, man. I want to kill everybody. I don't know, you know, but figuratively, I'm just like,
but you're just like, literally, you're making this painful. Like this, it's a chat room. It's a chat room.
Yeah,
if you want to watch a video, just buy a video and fucking jerk off. Like,
oh my God, I know. Oh, the internet.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So disappointing.
Do your thing.
But it's so fun. And I think when people are really actively engaging, I remember like some really fun shows on MFC, especially when I would allow them to like control the vibrator and Sybian, like the up down tips, the stops. Yeah. Like, my edging is just like out of control because of MFC. Like, it would sometimes be an hour of that thing off and on before I was left. Oh, good times. Good times
indeed.
But endurance, you know, it's good.
Endurance, yeah.
Amazing. So how long have you been in the industry?
Since 2014.
2014 then.
Almost a decade. It is almost a decade. Crazy. I look back and I'm just like,
yeah,
it is wild how fast the time flies, but I've like evolved and grown like so much, and now I'm like,
and so different, right, than when you started. Like, it's just so much perspective.
Just like a wise ass adult now with like
You've
means and
You've
resources.
gone from Grogu to Yoda.
Yes.
My God, yeah. I'm just like a little country girl with like nothing. Yeah. And like, I'm just like, what the fuck? But like, I always wanted this, you know? And like, I just felt like I wanted a fun life, you know?
I think that's the most important thing in life is having fun.
I really just want every day to be fun because I just feel like people just kind of slog through life and like are so miserable and like, oh, I guess I gotta go to work today, and it's TGIF. It's Friday. Let's get wasted every day because I have to escape from my life.
Because it's like, but it's like there's some people who they love to just complain and they just love to be miserable, but they never do anything to change it. It's like you could offer them like this myriad of options to do something so minute to change an aspect of their life that they're unhappy with, and they won't do it because it's too scary, it's too much work, and it's too much time, and I don't have the time. It's like, no, you don't make the time.
You make the
you
time.
don't make the time. You have to make the time to have fun.
It's not
because
convenient.
life is hard.
Yeah, it is. It's not, and it's certainly never convenient to pick up and move or like do something new. But it's like if you're just like, here we go. And also, I don't believe in like backup plans. So I've never been like, I just don't think it's a good attitude to be like, well, if this doesn't work, then I have this. I just don't think that way.
Very true.
Because if you're just like, no, I'm doing this, and you put all your focus on one thing that you really want to do, and I'm just maybe career-wise or whatever the fuck, like that you make it happen.
Exactly, because really you're going to make it happen if you want it to happen.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm sorry, but you don't want it.
You don't really want it.
Because there's a lot of excuses that I've heard, and it's not like I came from anything like it was not a great situation growing up. It's not like, that I had any concept of how to run a business or how to provide a future for myself. It was just like, now go forth into the world and do. And it's like, well, here I am.
Figure it out.
But it's like I didn't just get here by accident, and neither did you, because we had to do things and figure things out and make the hard mistakes and take the hard hits and take the really risky decisions. And the same with you for things that you did.
Just put your whole heart into it.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And then it's like even more rewarding when things, when things do work out well. But then when they don't, it's kind of like, okay, well, if you really care about it, then you'll be like, well, okay, how can I change that?
Always.
How can I change the narrative on this? How can I turn this from a negative thing and push it into something positive?
Yeah.
What could I change to make it better in the future? And it's like, if you care about it, then it's going to happen for you.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
And I always have that feeling like if you're ever like doubting something and like it just like turns into a positive thing, you're like, see, why the hell was I doubting it?
Your brain is trying to like keep you safe because we're not late, but we're not like running from T-Rexes anymore.
Nope.
Like what's going to happen? People will say no.
I am.
Me too sometimes.
Can we go to Universal? Oh,
that would be so fun.
That would be fun.
We should do that.
I really want to go to Super Mario World also.
Yes.
Let's go. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, we should go.
Okay.
That sounds really
Field
fun.
trip.
Because
Come on,
fun is
girls
important.
Fun
It really is.
Balance is important.
I think like, and fun is very important. And it's why obviously not every aspect of what we do is fun, but all the shitty things that we have to do or the things that are mundane or whatever make those really fun moments of the job even more rewarding.
Yes.
And when I was a kid, that was like all I ever wanted to do was have fun. I would like make up little projects. I always want to start a club. I always wanted to write a story or do a thing. Yeah. And it's like, it's just kind of that same energy shifted into like a new aspect. And it's like,
so true.
It's still just trying at the end of the day to have fun.
Yeah.
It's like,
totally.
even this thing that I don't like to do, how can I have the most fun doing it?
Yeah, I feel like that attitude is like, God, man, I wish more people would just have that attitude. Life would just be so much better because, like, people tell me too, like, I get comments on my Instagram here and there, and nothing rattles me because I'm like, okay, John Smith in Mom's Basement, like, user 95627, like,
You have an anime pillow as your avatar.
I can't. Like, who the fuck are you? Like, whatever. So it doesn't bother me, but it just, like, amuses me because people comment, like, on posts, like, oh, you're, like, 30s, like, trying to look 18. I was, like, or trying to act 18. I was, like, because I'm in my 30s, do I have to suddenly be boring and fucking crusty and like and so lame and like wear fucking button ups and like slick my fucking hair back in a bun and like what the fuck do you want from me? Yeah, like Jesus Christ, like do I have to get so boring?
No.
Like whose fucking narrative is that? It's not mine.
I love you so much. So good.
Like it's not mine. Like who's making this fucking and also there is no like who says like
who says that you have to do that?
Yeah,
it's like we're grown adults. We can do what it is that we want to do. It's not harming anybody how we dress or what kind of hobbies we have or even what we do for work. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't affect anyone.
So it's not like
if it's affecting you, you're allowing it to.
Yeah, people are like, oh, what does grow up mean? Because last I checked, like I'm pretty fucking stable. I'm happy. I'm healthy. Like
pay my bills.
I think I've grown up pretty well. And I'm just like, what do you want? Like I think, and honestly, and it's like amusing because I know for a fact that people who say that are just fucking jealous.
Yes, because it's like. Yeah, because they want they don't have that comfortability with themselves or that confidence in themselves to be like, this is what I'm into, this is what I like, and I don't give a fuck. Yeah. And it's like they're too like concerned with like other people's like opinions and I think like
confidence.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that on the broader scale, like it's after you've kind of been in and around the industry a lot, it's very, very hard to give any sort of fuck.
Oh my God.
Because it's like
so hard because nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Nobody gives
Literally
a fuck.
zero.
No. And
People,
honestly,
people like you've heard like the most outlandish shit, like
yeah.
like that people say on set, like, oh, like I did this extremely hard drug and I wore a fucking bed sheet, and this is a very rare example. I'm just saying people talk like this because no one cares, and like this was 20 years ago, and like, oh, look how here I'm now, I'm like doing a fucking DP, and like, oh, this girl fucking like shit on my dick, and like this is how we talk every day, so this is why like nothing bothers me.
And I
don't care.
Exactly.
Nothing surprises you either.
For real.
Right?
Nothing surprises me either. Like you could say like, oh, like I had a fucking gangbang with 65 dudes last night on a whim. I'd be
80.
like,
and I'd be like, yes, queen.
Yeah. get down with your bad
dick.
self. But like it's just funny because like it's just society compared. It's hard to go out in society sometimes and be like a normal person because I feel so
there's
square.
no filter. Like what?
I know.
I don't even.
It's hard.
That's my worst thing is like when I'm like around people that is like, and I've talked about this before to death, but whatever. It's like when it's not people around the industry that I don't know how to be, and we were saying that earlier with you saying that you kind of just zone out.
I like dissociate.
And I've had that too. I'm like, if I have a dog, that dog's just going to be on my lap and I'm just going to be stroking. Like, it's just because it's like, how are you supposed to be when it's like those same people could be the very ones who are just like, oh, grow up with whatever you say. And they're not people that are like bearing any part of themselves. And I think that's one of the other things that's like so frustrating is it's like, when it comes to us interacting, for instance, even if we just met, it's like, okay, we have this understanding of like what it is that we do. I don't have that understanding with other people. They're not bare to me. I don't know how open they're going to be with me. And in fact, they're even more guarded than like most people that I interact with, even who are guarded in this industry. It's like I have no perception of like how you feel about me, what you are going to think of what it is that I say, because I already know that there's some sort of mask there with you meeting me, a new person. So I don't know how to be.
And I
I'm
get it. And it's like, that's like life, and people are in different realms. You know what I also find though, like, I don't know, there are just certain people, like, you like, obviously you're not like in front of a camera. I mean, not like what we're doing, but it's like you're around that energy. And so you like get it. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm so comfortable talking about whatever. And there's like some people in my life too that I'm like just really good friends with. I find a lot of like people who are like artists in any way, shape, or form. There's just always an understanding there because there's at least the even though they're different realms,
open-mindedness.
It's like open-minded and creative and just like think very out of the box and different, and know that there's a different way to be and like express yourself, and like just a lot of like similarities I find there. So I find I think about that sometimes. I'm like, this specific type of person I just instantly click very well with. Even as a makeup artist, like
artist vibes.
It's still artist energy.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate
I love that. I definitely agree with that too. And I found that a lot of women in the industry too, and maybe men, I don't know, don't interact with as many of those.
Right, same.
But so it's kind of like very artistic. And it's like we have paint days and stuff. And then I know Kay Carter, also very talented. I have to show you a painting that she did the other day. I took a picture of it at her house.
Very talented.
A lot are very artistic.
Sophia Locke said she was into art as well. And there's just like so many people that have that creative energy. And you can also tell with those people who are the people who also make their own content, or the types who are very active with the job because it's something that they love and it's their form of art.
Same. That's how it feels for me. Like that's why, like, when I think during the pandemic, I really shifted into self-producing, and I realized like, oh, I want to keep doing this. And then, I was selling a lot of phone videos, but it was not fulfilling me. And I couldn't understand, like, there's something missing. And then I started like taking, investing in like locations and like Ivan to help me bring these things to life, and just the way they come out so nice, and there's other people I work with and everything, but it's like the quality and just the creativity, it's like, holy fuck, like that's so fucking fulfilling. Like I love it.
I love it so much. I mean, it's the same. We love creating like looks and ideas and sets.
Styling.
Like I even like to make my own sets here, and then we rip them down.
It's so fun. It's so fun.
And I'm always like, don't rip it down. I love this one.
We did this like bunny orgy for Easter with Adeline Gray, Kay Carter, and Alex Cole. And the whole kitchen area was like done up with iridescent, like shiny wrap. So I put it all over the walls. It was hanging down.
Oh my God.
And it looked so cool, but it took up like the entire room. And she was like, just leave it up. Just do content.
I love it. It had blow up mushrooms.
Leave this up.
It had like the beautiful, like shiny.
Yeah, it was fun.
Like, oh, I love this.
Yeah.
I will live here. I will live right here on this
just
mushroom.
let me smoke in here on this mushroom.
Bring the sex couch. I will live right here.
That's a terrible sex couch, by the way. So if you see a sex couch on Amazon, if you were in the market for one and it's like $350, invest higher because
what's the deal with it?
Maybe I'm just really heavy, but there's like many. It's like it did not stand up to the sex that I was having on it. So
there we go. Put it in the reviews. It's can you be like, this did not?
If you see my review on Amazon,
had wild sex, does not hold up.
Please.
I did a few scenes on it, and it's like if you sit on it just wrong, it's hollow all the way through. So it will go through, and there's like little divots in it, and like the hole hasn't come through the fabric yet. But if you press on it, you can feel where all the little holes in the inner casing are.
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
So no go.
It's very sus. No. So get one that's not hollow. Cap or whatever the kids say. I don't fucking know. I'm old. Oh god. So you're in New York is where you normally are. Do you have your place kind of set up as different little shoot areas, or do you typically do more location stuff?
I do, honestly, I do a lot of location stuff. So like when I'm home, like I have a designated area, but keep in mind New York, like
very small. Yeah, very small.
Real
expensive.
estate.
And even if it's a good, I mean, yeah, I guess if I were paying like significantly more, but, and I also think it'd be different. If I were planning on living there and staying there forever, I'd probably splurge on rent more. But since I'm not, I'm kind of just like,
your experience.
Yeah.
For now.
And I still have a good apartment. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still a nice place, but like it's just small. So it's like really hard to like, so things are a little squish, but I have like at least like a good couch area that I have for like my customs and stuff. I do YouTube videos on there, and it's perfect. It's plenty. It's enough. But, and then, like I do primarily go do locations.
Well, that makes sense why you travel so much for like the, the locations.
And
That's
also
cool.
the people are here. It's mostly LA and Vegas, because like the industry people are all in both very prevalent.
And there's great people that you like in both places, which is cool.
And the locations are great. And even if I like don't get a studio theme location, like even like there's places around here that I can still, and there's people out here, houses I go to and we do the props and shit. So it's always a fun time. Yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
I love traveling.
Yeah.
I really do. Yeah.
I do too. I miss them so much when I travel that it's hard.
Yeah, I know. I feel
it's hard. Yeah.
They're
Because
babies.
you said that you have a mini Aussie as well, right?
Aspen. She's my baby. Oh my God, it's so embarrassing. So so right before I left, like poor baby got a UTI, so she had her meds, and I found out she's like 10 pounds overweight, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Like, I don't understand, and it's because like, honestly, I don't know. I'm like, I feel like I've been feeding her the same amount of food, so maybe I need to like cut down on the food because she exercised. So I was like, how did I let this happen?
No, that was Julia. I know why it happened. My man likes to feed her bread, but he's stopped because I was like, this needs to end. You can't just feed her all the time. She was almost 20 pounds overweight, which I didn't really realize because she doesn't like to be picked up, only rolled.
Same with
So it's not like I'm just carrying her everywhere. And I'm like, oh, her fur's just growing in and she's fluffy.
It was the fur thing for me too. No, I was like, that was the fur.
So I've had her on like, a much smaller food dose now to get her to lose some weight. But now it's even cuter because she's losing a little weight. But now her skin is very rolly because she's got little flaps.
Julia is thick.
Oh, that's her Instagram.
Yeah,
follow Julia.
Her. Oh, I have to follow her.
She's so cute.
Her,
Oh, did I tell you? Ein got his Instagram back.
You have an Instagram?
What do you mean?
They deleted Ein's Instagram for some reason like a year and a half ago out of nowhere, and I was like, what?
Did you show your booty?
Is it the Einen fam?
Yeah, so it's
back.
And so they sent an email like a week ago, like, we're so sorry, there has been, an error or something, and we've reached. I was like a year and a half later.
Oh my God.
That's so funny.
Well, maybe your TikTok's coming next. Who knows?
Dude, my fucking TikTok, like, it was like 25K or something like that. You had a lot more, I think you told me, but it's so annoying.
Yeah, yours get taken away?
It's annoying.
Yeah.
No.
And for what? Like, I don't know. I wore a bikini one day. Heaven forbid.
Heaven forbid. It's not like there's bikinis all over TikTok.
Jeez.
I didn't even wear a bikini when I got deleted. That was a weird thing.
What got you deleted?
Yeah, it was like
I don't know. They didn't tell me why. I didn't even have warnings.
They just said community guidelines,
the way.
Yeah, just community guidelines.
That's it.
With no flags on my account or anything.
Zero.
Like,
Same. They didn't give any warnings. It was all of a sudden one day.
Gone.
And no, like,
That's
reasoning.
So
like, thanks.
not cool.
Cool.
Dicks.
Bless
He hates
you.
it. He hates it. He's
Did you have a little sneeze?
Yes.
Did you have a little demon in there? You gotta get out.
What do you do on your YouTube channel? I gotta find your YouTube. That's
yeah, I mean, so right now I actually have like a little fun series out behind the small screen, and I basically break down like different segments of like my journey through the adult industry, because I thought it'd be something cool that like
That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought my fans would like it. And like, I'm always like, you know, when you do content like for social media, a lot of the personality, it's there, but it's different when you're sitting there. I mean, this would be a good example. You're sitting there talking, people can understand and get to know you.
Yeah.
You know, for people that are just followers of mine on like Instagram and they just see like static photos, I'm like, this is a cool way for them to get to know me better. So that's also
awesome.
partially why. Yeah, so it's so fun. It's wild though to like look back on all the old photos and like when I first started, and then like the whole journey, and I'm like, oh my god, like I forgot this happened. So like so many ups and downs, and like just like also that, and then just seeing like, holy fuck, how far I've come since then. And it's a great feeling, you know, like awesome. Knowing that like you've done it like on your own. Like, fuck yeah, I did this.
And it is like after like 10 years of time, because I just celebrated 10 in February.
Yes,
it's like you remember everything, but there's so much. Like if someone was like, who's your favorite performer that you ever worked with on Twisties? And I'm like, I would have to think so hard. Like I can think and remember everyone I worked with, but also no favorites. But it's like, even just thinking that, I'm like, oh my God, like I've literally worked with so many people. I've done so many cool scenes. It's like, oh, if I had to pick a favorite, it would be hard because it's like
so hard.
But then it's fun. Like even with the podcast, we go back through like, you know, other people's startups, and, you know, with our solo stuff, you know, we've discussed like so much throughout the past, or even just how much has changed in the past 3 years.
Yeah, it's
and
been
it just
wild,
keeps evolving.
Yeah.
So it's so fun to see. It's awesome that you're being able to document that for your fans as well, and for yourself. Yeah, that's like, 'cause that's cool to look back on.
Yeah, totally. So it's fun. It was crazy though. Like I look back and I'm like, oh man, I went through some heavy ass shit. You know, like when you're just starting like a business and like figuring everything out, and there's like no map. No. Like it's hard sometimes. So
it's very hard.
Yeah.
But you killed it, and here you are. That's amazing. You want to tell everybody where they can find you, and especially your YouTube channel? We'll link it here as well on YouTube.
Totally. So it would be onlyfans.com/Alix Lynx is the OF, and Instagram is at the Alix Lynx. Same with Twitter. TikTok is XOAlix, and then youtube.com/Alix Lynx is where you can find me.
Perfect. Go follow her.
That was awesome. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Yes, thank you.
This was very fun. I'm glad we were able to make it happen.
I know.
Thank you all for listening, you know, once again. And remember, 100th episode is coming up soon.
So please call.
Please call 702-900-6446. Leave your submissions, your favorite episodes, any stories that you have to share, all your dirty little secrets. We would love to hear from you. Yes. You can also email the pod at twndpodcast@gmail.com. So if you're shy of your own voice or whatever, and everything can be anonymous, if you want us to leave your name off, just don't include it or tell us to leave it off, and we will preserve your anonymity.
And they can text, right?
Yeah, you can text, but
if you want.
Someone texted and just says love podcast,
or
so
like
maybe
dick.
a little bit more than love podcast. But thank you.
Emoji,
just a little eggplant.
That's it. Thank you guys.
We love that you love podcasts, and we will see you Monday.
Come.